A very good evening to you all and welcome to News Tonight here on UBC TV. This Monday, the 11th day of May 2026. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcasting House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language, it is Senyamo Yusuf and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Now, foreign dignitaries have arrived in the country ahead of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's Tuesday, May 12th inauguration. The dignitaries include heads of state and other delegates. We have more in this story.
In the history of Uganda. Following the arrival of His Excellency Dr. Salva Kiir, the President of the Republic of South Sudan, which was witnessed on the Sunday 10th of May 2026, more dignitaries have continued to arrive in the country to be part of the swearing-in ceremony of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Of the President of the Republic of Somalia, His Excellency option other than. The Monday morning of 11th May 2026, we witnessed the arrival of His Excellency Dr. Sheikh Hassan Mohamud, the President of the Republic of Somalia. There comes the President Sheikh Hassan Mohamud, the President of the Republic of Somalia. He was received by the Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honorable Robina Nabanja Musafiri. Of the Entebbe International Airport at the VIP Terminal, Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honorable Robina Nabanja. It was followed by the arrival of the President of DRC, His Excellency Felix Tshisekedi. And there comes the man himself in a navy blue counter suit, His Excellency Felix Tshisekedi. Tshisekedi was received by the former Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honorable John Patrick Amama Mbabazi. And he is greeted there by the former Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honorable John Patrick Amama Mbabazi. His Excellency Taye Aski Selassie, the President of Ethiopia, was then next in the queue. Is now the arrival of the President of the Republic of Ethiopia. He was received by the Minister of Mineral and Energy in the government of Uganda, Honorable Ruth Nankabirwa. Others who have already arrived in Uganda ahead of the swearing-in of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is the President of Sarawi, His Excellency Ibrahimu Gali. He was received by the Minister of State for Trade, General Wilson Mbasu Mbadi. In the evening, we received another dignitary who is the Prime Minister of Equatorial Guinea. Was received by the Commander Reserve Forces of Uganda, Lieutenant General Charles Otema. More dignitaries and heads of government will continue arriving in the country late in the night, with others expected early in the morning. Among those who are represented is His Excellency Paul Kagame, who will be represented by the Prime Minister of Rwanda. His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, the President of Kenya, will be represented by the Deputy President, Professor Kithure Kindiki. However, the President of Tanzania, Her Excellency Samia Hassan Suluhu, is expected in Uganda in the Tuesday morning. These are all coming in to witness the historical swearing-in ceremony of His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni as he takes the 7th oath. I'm Robert Onyango for UBC News here at Entebbe Airport. Of the President of Sarawi, His Excellency Ibrahim Gali, being received by the Minister of State for Trade, General Wilson Mbasu Mbadi.
Thanks, Onyango, for that story there. And of course, President Yoweri Museveni today hosted several foreign leaders and dignitaries at State House Entebbe ahead of tomorrow's swearing-in ceremony. The delegates included South Sudan President Salva Kiir Mayardit, Somalia President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, and U.S. Envoy Nicholas Cheka, who represented President Donald Trump. During talks with the U.S. delegation, Mr. Museveni called for greater support towards Africa's industrialization and value addition, saying the continent cannot continue exporting raw materials without processing them. He argued that value addition in sectors such as coffee, oil and minerals is key to expanding Africa's economy. It is also there to create jobs and increase purchasing power. Now, the president also highlighted Uganda's role in regional peace efforts in Somalia, South Sudan, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, while cautioning against sectarian divisions based on religion. The U.S. delegation commended Uganda for its contribution to regional peace and ongoing cooperation in health and economic development, while outgoing U.S. Ambassador William Pope thanked Uganda for the support extended to him during his tenure. Of the Congo have agreed to strengthen cooperation on security, trade, infrastructure and oil development following bilateral talks between President Yoweri Museveni and President Felix Tshisekedi. President Museveni said the two countries discussed the security situation along the North Kivu and Ituri border areas, with military officials from both sides expected to coordinate further operations. The meeting also reviewed progress on the Kasindi-Beni Road project linking Uganda to Eastern DRC. Museveni said rehabilitation works are ongoing on the Ugandan side, where sections of the road had deteriorated over time. The two leaders also discussed trade and irrigation as part of efforts to increase business between the neighboring countries. On oil, Mr. Museveni said some petroleum fields across both Uganda and DR Congo, with a border running through the reserves. He revealed that the DRC has expressed interest in using Uganda's oil infrastructure, including the pipeline and refinery projects, for the development of its petroleum resources.
The security near at our borders in North Kivu and Ituri, and also on the Uganda side. So we have agreed our military people will know what to do. Then His Excellency briefed us about the road from Kasindi to Beni to Butembo, which we are working on together. And also on our side, Chikorongo, Mpondwe. Our side was already a tarmac road for a long time, but it had grown old. Now, I haven't checked the latest, but I claimed that it is being worked on. I hope you are working on it seriously. Then we talked about trade. The delegation will go there about trade to see how the two sides can trade together. Then finally, we talked about the petroleum. Because this Albert oil field is also in Congo. So His Excellency brought a very, very good idea that there is a field which is both in Congo and in Uganda, the same field, but the border is in the middle. And then he proposed, and I agreed, that since on the Uganda side, we have already developed the pipeline and we're working on the refinery, Congo would like to participate in that one so that their part also is handled on this side, because we already have underground access. One is security.
President Yoweri Museveni ending that report there. Now, a delegation from Turkmenistan has arrived in Uganda ahead of the swearing-in ceremony of President Yoweri Museveni. The delegation was led by the Turkmenistan leader of the ruling Democratic Party, His Excellency Ata Serdarov, alongside the head of the Middle East and African Countries Department, His Excellency Yazkuli Mamedov. The officials were received at Entebbe International Airport by Uganda's charge d'affaires, accredited to Tehran and across the Middle East and Central Asia. His Excellency Twaha Matata, together with the NRM Director for External Affairs, Major Retired Awich Pollard.
I'm here to welcome our party comrades who are coming to swear our chairman, who has been a flag bearer. You are aware that government has made invitations, but the party, for a party-to-party relationship, we have also had invitation to extend it to our other party colleagues. So we are happy that they have honored and they have come, and we are now here to welcome them. The delegation, as you have said, has come a very, very far distance. It's one of the virgin areas of the world that Uganda needs to exploit and establish relationship. It's their first time to be here, but their presence here means NRM is widespread, because the person who has come, the leader of delegation, is a chairman of the party, just like you have President Museveni is a chairman of NRM. So we are very happy to have Turkmenistan be with us. I'm sure many Ugandans maybe are not so familiar with it, but Ugandans should know that Stan actually looks like it means a country. That is why I have this Stan, there are many. But this one is a long distance, and we are happy to associate, and we are happy that they bring such a high-level person, a chairman of a national chairman of a party. We are happy. It shows that our networking system, our global network, our friendship, our comradeship is far and wide. You're welcome. Feel at home. It's a nice place. And as a party, we are happy to associate with your party.
And of course, delegates continue to jet into the country, and we'll be giving you whatever will be happening at Entebbe International Airport as these delegates continue coming in. But for now, let's go to Cololo, where tomorrow, Tuesday, all roads will lead to Cololo ceremonial grounds for the swearing-in ceremony of President-elect of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni. At Cololo ceremonial grounds today, most of the committees undertook dry runs in preparation for activities of tomorrow. Our reporter Philip Guta takes us through how the preparations reached the final stage at Cololo ceremonial grounds.
All is set here in Cololo for the swearing-in ceremony of the President-elect Yoweri Museveni. Even the flags are already up, and every detail is being provided now, and each and every flags, I counted them, and there are about 38 of them. these are signs that all these flags of these countries here, their heads of states have confirmed their attendance, either in person or they will be represented. At least what I can authoritatively say that 8 heads of states have already confirmed the attendance here, and there are 2 vice presidents who have also confirmed to represent their heads of states, and the others will be represented by their ministers, prime ministers, or ambassadors.
At Cololo, about 3 tents are being set for the guests that will be attending the swearing-in ceremony. The VIP for the heads of state and diplomats. The VIP tent reserved for those responsible for swearing-in ceremony, such as the Judiciary, Electoral Commission, and the UPDF. Then the NRM district leaders and the RDCs will be seated in the pavilion. NRM National Treasurer Barbara Nekesa Oundo, who is on the National Organizing Committee for the swearing-in, says tomorrow will be a colorful day.
Today is the 11th of May 2026, and as we speak, we have just concluded our last National Organizing Committee meeting. All preparations are now at 90%. We are just left with a few issues to touch up as far as Cololo reception is concerned. So generally, by and large, we are ready to receive all Ugandans that have been invited, those that are joining us out of the general mobilization, and those that will be joining us through the live streaming at home. We are set to have our president inaugurated tomorrow.
The Judiciary, Army, and Electoral Commission were all present on Monday, rehearsing how the president will undertake his swearing-in process. The Special Forces Command paratroopers had final drills on how to display their skills come tomorrow. The media was also involved in the final preparations that set strict guidelines on how to execute their duties tomorrow.
What happens tomorrow is very, very important. It is a national event, it is a regional event, it's an international event. The whole world will be watching us tomorrow. And we expect that as a country to be putting our best foot forward.
I would request, this is an international function. I know most of us dress for specific purposes, but for this one, we would expect you to be on a very, very decent casual.
When the parade is on, there are people who tend to run into the parade and then lie on the ground to take those beautiful pictures. This time around, members, that will not be allowed.
Promotion of tourism is also going to be at the center stage of the swearing-in ceremonies, as Cololo has been decorated with Explore Uganda slogans that has all the wild animals in the parks displayed in form of sculptures.
Contracted by Uganda Tourism Board to do these sculptures for the presidential swearing-in. Now these same sculptures will also be used for Powate in Munyonyo next week, and then also we'll take them to the airport. We are going to brand the airport. So basically we're a company that has passion about tourism. That's why we're doing this for government.
As the clock ticks towards the D-Day, Ugandans are encouraged to turn up for the ceremony in big numbers.
Mwamu obulubungi nnyo bana Uganda katonda kurwancha muje mwerabire kimwakora muje muraba amafuta muje murabe ngarayira nga agenda kulemberera n'emyaka 5 etari yakusaga eyo enkurakurana eyo kugoba obwavu maka.
Philip Aguta for UBC News in Cololo.
Thanks, Philip, for that story there. Now, Kampala City has undergone a major facelift ahead of tomorrow's swearing-in ceremony of President-elect Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Besides, Uganda is host to several regional leaders and international dignitaries. Saddam Mubale reports.
From freshly painted road curbs to newly planted flowers and intensified garbage collection, Kampala Capital City Authority has improved the appearance of the city ahead of President Yoweri Museveni's inauguration ceremony. Major roads leading to Cololo Independence Grounds, where the ceremony will take place, have been cleaned and decorated. At Cololo and surrounding areas, workers were seen trimming hedges as final preparations entered the last phase. Authorities say the cleanup exercise is not only intended for swearing-in ceremony, but also part of broader efforts to improve the image of Uganda's capital city.
Seen by our visitors, all those places that are going to remain with us, because when we repair these roads, like Wampeo Road has been redone, Katonga Road, we are working on it, Malcolm X, Macnon Road, all these roads we are working on them so that we have a beautiful city. The swearing in is tomorrow, but Uganda and the city shall continue. So everywhere we are touching, even those that we are building afresh, like Wavamuno Road towards Speak, we're working on that. It's going to be beautiful.
The inauguration ceremony is expected to attract several diplomats and delegates from Africa and beyond. Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
Security agencies have intensified visibility in and around Kampala to ensure stability and a peaceful swearing-in ceremony of President-elect Yoweri Museveni tomorrow. The security agencies advise the public and traffic to comply with the already issued guidelines.
Tomorrow, 12th of May, 2026 is the day President-elect Yoweri Museveni will swear as president for the 7th term. In preparation, security across the country has been heightened to ensure a peaceful commemoration of this national event.
People should not get worried when they see a certain heightened level of security posture. It is all in good faith. It is intended to simply make sure that we keep the country calm, and recall that we have a number of guests who have already started coming in.
Some intermittent traffic diversions have been put in place, and the public is urged to comply with already released route charts.
The routes outside Entebbe Airport remain free, because let people not have an imagination that we have closed routes. No, they are not closed, but they are being managed. As I said, there may arise some intermittent disruptions. Entebbe Airport has the following feed-ins: the old Entebbe Road, then the express, then there is also the Spa moving towards Munyonyo. Those will be having those intermittent stops, but which shall not affect traffic severely.
All roads accessing Entebbe International Airport remain open for public use. However, roads leading to Cololo ceremonial grounds have cut-off points, with access limited to holders of special accreditation cards.
That is the Upper Cololo Terrace. Now that one, there will be very, very strict measure or restriction. In our language, we call it a cut-off. Wampeo Avenue. Of course, the guests and all those people coming into the venue will use the Wampeo, they will use the Elgon Terrace. We shall be checking. Those who come in driving, you need to have a sticker.
The heightened security in Kampala and surrounding areas is to ensure calmness during the ceremony.
The conduct of motorists on roads is very important. So we call upon motorists to behave, because we shall be having a very, very visible traffic.
In the meantime, despite the heavy deployment across Kampala's central business district, people continue with their normal businesses. Abdunasir Lubwama, and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
Wama and Rogers, thank you so much for that story there. And of course, we are getting information that people are eagerly waiting, and their eyes are set in the skies waiting for that very, very important message. But we do need to remind you that that is going to happen at 8:30, and of course it will begin with fireworks. That will be followed, of course, by what most of you are actually eagerly waiting, and that is the drone show. But of course, and later on, the president giving a thank you message to Ugandans for voting wisely. Once again, that is going to happen in the next few minutes. That is at 8:30. So do not go away. Stay tuned to UBC TV for that very, very important show there. Moving on now, as Uganda prepares for the presidential swearing-in ceremony on May 12th, 2026 at Cololo ceremonial grounds, security agencies have released traffic arrangements ahead of the event, outlining road diversions, restricted area access routes and guidance for motorists to ensure smooth movement and public safety. Take a watch.
The following routes to Cololo ceremonial grounds will be accessed by individuals with accredited stickers. Those from Seziwe Road will go through Golf Course traffic lights to John Babiha Road, then to Cololo ceremonial grounds. Those from Entebbe International Airport will go through Entebbe Express Highway to the Northern Bypass, to Yusufu Road, then to Cololo ceremonial grounds. Those from Nyonyo Spa will use the Northern Bypass to Yusufu Road, then to Cololo ceremonial grounds. The following are the redirections. At Wampeo roundabout, vehicles will be diverted to Ginger Road to access Uganda Management Institute parking and funeral grounds. At Golf Course Fairway Hotel traffic lights, only VVIPs with ready stickers will access Acacia Avenue. At Katikati, the public will be directed to Lugogo traffic lights on Ginger Road. At City Oil on Acacia Road, vehicles from Old Kira Road and Mawanda Road will be directed to Mulago traffic lights. Regan Ahomuza for UBC.
And of course, access roads and how the traffic will be flowing tomorrow as we go into the president-elect's inauguration. And you, as the public and especially motorists, are advised to follow those guidelines. Now, Uganda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, held what a State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Honorable John Mulimba, described as frank, constructive and forward-looking deliberations during the 9th Joint Permanent Commission. Addressing the media at the close of the 3-day bilateral meeting, Mr. Mulimba said both parties openly discussed existing challenges while focusing on consolidating the immense gains registered over the years. That drone show.
Abali bafatwage mwatukula kuno sikudingisa esekuze balamu ekyo kirabwa kisaana kusosowasa kino ebyenfuna bikoleddwako n'emmotoka nvulumula n'amazina mpiringisa neeko
the Pearl of Africa is Uganda, a nation driven by unity, resilience, vision, and boundless potential, standing firm, charting its path toward prosperity. A nation anchored in peace, stability, and independence, symbolized by the vigilant crested crane, a guardian of dignity and progress. Through projects like the Karuma Dam, powering industries, lighting homes, and energizing a nation ready to transform. As well as the electric bus project by Kira Motors and the Uganda government, carrying not just people and goods, but the promise of a faster, stronger economy. From these foundations we have built rises a new era of industrialization where Uganda adds value, manufactures, and competes on the global stage. Through innovation and development, we have built not only modern roads, but an
they are going to display to us. Those are the drones right there, quite many. They are making a pattern. Wow, that is an aeroplane, I could say. That's an aeroplane. It could be bombardier of sorts. Wow, this is fantastic. Such a wonderful display. Right there, the plane. They're showcasing a plane flying into the spaces. But this time around, the drones have made that very possible. We are at Katie Apartments, the 6th floor at the rooftop, and that's where we are witnessing what is currently being displayed. This is quite interesting, though we were told it might only last for 15 minutes. So we started at 8:30, and I think by 8:45. These are the themes probably that will be discussed tomorrow. This is what we shall hear from the speeches that will be